Sean Diddy Combs on suicide watch at Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center after two judges denied his request for bail.
Believe in him wholeheartedly. He didn't do these things, and we're going to fight this case with everything we have, as is he. And eventually he's going to be shown to be innocent.
You say his fame makes him a target.
Yes, in my humble estimation, his life, his safety is in jeopardy in any correctional lockup right now.
Now that Diddy is behind bars until trial, Cassie and others are back in public, feeling safe and ready to share their stories. This is about to get messy, so let's get into it. So we know that Diddy is not getting out of jail anytime soon because the judge has rejected his bail. And actually everything got even worse because as he was sent back to his cell, they decided to release some text messages. Before we get into those shocking text messages that Diddy sent Cassie, I want to remind you guys that he is going to be held behind bars for racketeering and sex crimes until his trial. And I wouldn't be surprised if they ended up charging him with more crimes as they continue this investigation. There are so many sketchy things happening. I just saw Usher deleted all of his tweets. I also saw the singer Pink deleted her tweets as well. So there are other people who I believe are implicated in this entire situation, and we're gonna see it all come to light, whether Diddy wants to face it or not. Actually, Cassie sent him a text message writing, "I'm not a rag doll, I'm someone's child," which we mentioned that pretty often when it comes to like violence, because I mean, we are all children of someone. We're a brother or sister to someone. We matter to people. So why would you beat on me like I'm a rag doll? She's clarifying she's not one. Actually, the lawyer told the judge there is a long-standing pattern of abuse here. Lawyer read messages where a woman claimed to be heavily drugged during an encounter with Diddy. Prosecutors allege in an indictment that multiple women said that Diddy had used recordings of those encounters as blackmail. Can you imagine being put on these substances? You don't know what you're taking, you're out of consciousness, then you are harmed by this person and maybe his fellow friends. You manage to survive that situation, you leave with a bunch of trauma, and then you randomly get a message where you see a recording of this terrible moment where you were, incapacitated, realizing that this was sent to you as a threat. Now that is disgusting. Send him to jail, prison. Send him to prison for good. In a message that the attorney exposed, it looks like Diddy directed an associate to make sure a woman's rent was paid on time, in which this lawyer claims was a payoff. Essentially, Diddy did some disturbing things and he said, "Hey, I'll cover your rent." And it's like, okay, well, I guess there's nothing else I'm going to get because you can't go and charge this man. I mean, you guys saw how many years it took for a case to be built. And that's why I don't put blame onto any third person, even though there are definitely some of his associates that are going to be jailed up as well. The people who, need blame, they will face their consequences. Now, in the case of Cassie, you guys may remember that Diddy apologized when the video went viral. Months prior, he said that this was a lie in Cassie's attempt to get money from him, though in this moment, he took accountability, saying it was inexcusable. Cassie texted him, "I have a black eye and a fat lip. You are sick to think it's okay what you've done." On November 16th, 2023, Cassie filed a lawsuit against Diddy. 3 days later, the lawyer told the court another woman texted the rapper about the suit, telling him, "I feel like I'm reading my own trauma. It makes me sick." So another victim came forward and said, "Hey, this sounds like my exact story." She says, "It makes me sick how 3 solid pages, word for word, is exactly my experiences and my anguish." Here are some messages and a trigger warning. "I turn my head for a second and you get effed up, and then you drag me down the hall by my hair. I have bleeding cuts. You hit me in the head 2 good times." This person commented, "That someone's child just devastated me. These are people's daughters." Another person writes, "When he made them people walk for cheesecake, you should have known his ego was out of control." Let's actually break down that reference because it's an important moment. We all know the show Making the Band. I actually just posted a video about some of the members coming forward against Diddy. Well, during the second season, it looks like Diddy sent his group, the band, on a challenge to fetch him cheesecake. This trek required them to walk over 5 miles across the Brooklyn Bridge. He made them do all of this without any use of taxis or public transportation, and it just sounds ridiculous trying to embarrass them.
And Puffy just told us to go to the store in Brooklyn and bring him back a cheesecake and walk.
Say what? see me on TV, some punk ass bitch, yo. It's crazy. If I walk to Brooklyn, I'm going home.
Wait, what? Why? Okay, why do they have to walk to Brooklyn? So unnecessary.
That's where the I live, y'all. I'm not walking to Brooklyn. It's crazy.
Yo, it's called making the bitch, not making the band.
I would have been out there so quick. You can't get me to walk a mile outside. I'm not going to be walking 5, especially in New York, because I'm scared. I'll admit it. I live in fear sometimes. No, I don't live in fear. But, you know, on the streets, I will. Looks like Diddy's living in fear, though, because he's placed on unaliving watch in jail, which actually turns out to be pretty routine. I mean, they don't want this guy to take the easy way out. After being denied bail twice, they don't want him to pull a Jeffrey Epstein, if you know what I mean.
Well, Sean Diddy Combs on watch at Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center after 2 judges denied his request for bail.
People magazine reported that Diddy was in shock and his mental state was unclear. According to the Justice National Institute of Corrections, it looks like this unaliving watch is a supervisory precaution taken for inmates that require frequent observation. The Metropolitan Detention Center is known for being dangerous and understaffed with high numbers of deaths and unaliving. Oh, guys, like, do you ever think about like prison or jail? I know, like, probably some people who have watched this have gone, so comment below if you've gone to prison or jail. But I am so scared of it. Like, I truly cannot commit a crime. Like, I can't imagine going in jail. I'd be done. I mean, I don't want to say that, but like, I can't imagine, right? Like, could you guys imagine? I don't think I would survive. Imagine me, especially me, my dramatic ass. Diddy's lawyer, Mark, requested his client be moved to a different facility in New Jersey, citing the poor conditions at this unit. The judge said that they can't make that choice. It would fall into the Bureau of Prisons. Now, I do think it makes sense to move Diddy, especially if this jail isn't set up for him. Granted, I don't think he deserves any privileges right now, but I do think they need to keep him alive. And we've got the warden even claiming that his life is in danger. Diddy should watch his back in prison because a former warden at that facility says there's a whole lot of inmates who would love to see him gone. And also they'd love to be the one who said they did it. Although he's being held away from the general population, I mean, we heard stories about this prison, so I still don't think he's fully safe.
You say his fame makes him a target.
Yes, in my humble estimation, his life, his safety is in jeopardy in any correctional lockup right now.
There are other lawyers who are speaking out about Diddy because they know a little bit more about what he's going through. Like this attorney James, who represented rapper Casanova, who spent time in this facility, sentenced to 188 months for racketeering. He tells TMZ the conditions in the prison are even more dire than they sound. He said there are regular fights and assaults that break out in the prison and in the SHU. I guess that's where he's being held. Diddy will have very limited access to the library and the phone. James says it's harder for visitors to come and visit people in the SHU because it takes a long time to get up to the SHU, which I'm like, what do you mean get up to the SHU? Like an elevator? Like, is the elevator slow? The prison doesn't allocate more time, so even with regular visitation, Diddy will likely not see much of his family. Now, we have actually seen Cassie out and about, which we haven't seen her in months, so the timing is, you know, different, but I wonder if she feels much safer now. Cassie was out and about in New York City, flashing her smile and soaking up the good vibes, while her ex Diddy is stuck in a whole other different reality, lonely and behind bars in a grimy Brooklyn prison. Oh, I love how they wrote this, like, very poetic. The singer looked at ease as she headed to the trendy spot, the Left Bank, for dinner on Wednesday. And looking at these photos, I'm feeling some healing energy from Cassie. This person wrote, and that's why he didn't get bail. That woman now feels safe to come out of hiding. Good for her. Another person commented, looking like a weight lifted off of her. She seems happy. Good for her. And now that he is behind bars, I am ready for everyone who has been wronged to come forward. Ex-rapper Shine says Diddy destroyed his life in 1999 with that shooting involving Jennifer Lopez. Shine said he pretty much sent me to prison. He said this is someone who destroyed my life because he took all the blame and got a 10-year sentence. He said I was in New York, an 18-year-old kid just wanting to do nothing other than make my mother proud. He wanted to be recognized for his talent and take over the world, but he didn't even get a chance.
18-year-old kid, you know, just wanting to do nothing other than make my mother proud and make Belize proud and do what all of us want to do, be recognized for our talent and take over the world. I was defending him and he turned around and called witnesses to testify against me, and he contributed. He pretty much sent me to prison.
And look at this man now, just speaking his truth and, you know, really recognizing that he should have just, I mean, I'm sure in hindsight, he wished he stood up for himself more in that moment and said, no, Diddy is in the wrong, but it's scary because Diddy was at the top. He became the fall guy for Diddy, where actually Diddy at the time was known as Puff Daddy or Puffy. He changed his name because of this incident when 3 people were injured after Diddy fired a shot into a ceiling of a Midtown dance club. He was with Jennifer Lopez, and Shine was released in 2009 and deported back to Belize, where he is now leader of the opposition. Wow. What? He's in the Belize House of Representatives. Good for, you know, Shine. This is your path. You know, you were meant to lead in a different kind of way. Now I'm ready for Aubrey O'Day to come and speak out. I would love to interview her, but I think she's waiting for her Oprah moment. Aubrey O'Day is weighing in on the Diddy arrest, posting a cryptic message online about justice. It reads, "The purpose of justice is to provide an ending and allow us the space to create a new chapter. Women never get this. I feel validated. Today is a win for all women all over the world, not just me. Things are finally changing." Aubrey tells TMZ, "I never thought I would see this day. We all buried this inside of us in order to be able to keep going. It's not just me, but victims you don't even know yet. We are all processing what type of vindication we can actually feel now. Every conversation I've had with victims last night has been beyond moving on all levels." Aubrey hasn't shared too many details, but she has spoken out, especially when that video went viral of Cassie being harmed by Diddy, saying Diddy did not apologize to Cassie. He apologized to the world for seeing what he did. I actually do want to hold on to what Aubrey's saying there, that the world is kind of changing, and I hope so. I mean, even seeing Kesha update her song TikTok, which is like I think her #1 song ever, where she says, "Wake up in the morning feeling like P. Diddy," and now it says F. P. Diddy, which I'm kind of living for. Because we're on the topic of Diddy, I want to give you guys a few quick stories, because there's one clip that's going viral of Travis Scott running away from Diddy. You cannot make this up.
Yeah. Hey, yo, everybody, my baby bro, we here. Tomorrow is time. It's time. What you gonna do to that thing, man? Yeah, they better tune in. They better tune in. Let's go. Let's go.
I would be running too. I want to hear what you guys think in the comments below. This was a lot, but we're going to be on top of the entire Diddy story. So I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.